good. So these clips that you have seen is from Saturday's workout. On Saturdays I try to shoot some kind of videos because the gym is slightly less crowded, and on weekdays I hardly get 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes to work out because I have to be at work by 9:30. So the reason why I have shown you the clips is because I wanted to inspire you and to take some positive actions, steps towards your health, because without health, you know that nothing else matters. A sick person always want to be healthy, and they do not want anything else in the world. That's the only thing that they want. So I just wanted to emphasize that, emphasize health, how you should be spending at least 1 hour every day in some kind of activities. You do not have to be going to the gym every day. It can be running, it can be any sort of sports, and I am sure that it will give you the highest return on your investment. And besides that, if you compare an average normal person and to someone that work out every day, you will see that they look much better and much happier. So this is just a reminder to take steps towards your health. Now the second important thing I wanted to discuss is about wealth. You might have seen online about the book called The Rich Dad Poor Dad. It is one of the most talked about financial books out there, and this is not going to be a review on that book, but I am going to be sharing the difference between the poor, middle class and the rich. And before I begin, I wanted to give you a disclaimer, because I don't want to undermine anyone classifying into these categories, but this information will give you a new perspective on your income statement, on how you are spending, and it will definitely help you shift from one class to the other. So on the screen you can see the poor diagram. You can see that there is an income statement. So the income is the source from where they are getting their money, and you have the expenses. So expenses are the usual bills that they have to pay, and then we have balance sheet. So on balance sheet you can see assets and liabilities. So what are assets? Assets are something that appreciates in value. For example, it can be gold, it can be a home or a property that you own, etc. And then we have liabilities. So liabilities are something that takes money out of your pocket. This can be some kind of debt or EMIs that people take in order to buy stuff or give to their creditor. So in case of the diagram of the poor, you can see that there is only one source of income, that is their salary. So they are exchanging their time to get money, and how they are spending their money. So the expenses are taxes, rent, food, transportation, clothes. So these are the basic necessities one has to pay. I still remember that when I started working, I was in this category, I would say, because I hardly had any money to spend on luxuries like traveling to somewhere I wanted or do anything basically. So just getting money from my boss, spending it on giving it to the owner where I was staying, and paying daily for food, and maybe I was also buying some good clothes. So yeah, so that is the diagram of the poor. Now here you can see the diagram of the middle class. So this is slightly different. So the middle class person is also getting a single source of income, that is from his salary, but the difference is the salary will be much higher than the poor, because he might have studied well, or he might have landed a good job because of the skills that he have. But when you look at the expenses, you can see that their expenses are taxes, mortgage payments, car payments, credit card payment, school loan payment. So whenever they are getting their salary every month, it is going outside of their bank through expenses and liabilities. So liabilities, you can see here, they have taken a home loan, they have also taken a car loan because they have a family and they want to travel together, and they also have a credit card which they are paying every month, and of course the kids are going to the school, so they have school loans to pay. And the what you can see here is there is hardly any space for saving any money. So when people start getting money, of course we want to buy certain things that we always wanted, like a car or a home. And people, once they start getting money, they always end up buying these things, and this is exactly how their income and balance sheet will look like. Now let's take a look at the diagram of the rich, and you will notice something very different. The first thing is the income. So they have multiple sources of income. You can see that they are getting rental income, dividend, interest, and royalties. What are rental incomes? So for example, instead of buying a home to live, let's say you invested that money to buy an office space or an apartment. So instead of you living there, you are renting out that property, so you are getting back rental income from the tenants. And then we have dividends. So dividends are a type of payment paid by companies. So if you buy shares of, for example, ITC, they regularly pay out dividends to their shareholders. So if you have your money invested in such type of stocks, you will be getting dividends. And then we have interest. So some people, instead of investing money in any type of assets, they simply give out money in the form of a loan. It could be to their friends, families, or even anyone who is asking money to them. So this income interest rates can be from 10%, 20%, 30%. It can be in any range. So for that money they are getting the interest. And then we have royalties. So royalties are from franchises. So for example, if you are the owner of Pepsi or McDonald's, you have to pay a certain amount to the owner of the franchise. So that is in the form of royalties. And you can also look at their expenses, where they are spending money. They are only spending their money on the taxes and mortgage payments. So we already talked about how they have bought the rental properties. So that will be on mortgage, and they will be spending money on mortgage payments, but they are getting that money from the tenants who are already living or who have rented that property. Now let's take a look at the balance sheet. On the asset side, you can see that they have real estate, stock, bonds, intellectual property. So from these assets, they are getting their income. So earlier in the last two diagrams, we saw that they are actually getting their the source of income was from their salary or their job. But here they are getting from their assets. And if you look at liabilities, they also have liabilities. They are also paying mortgage payment, they have consumer loans, they have credit cards. So in terms of liabilities, I don't think there is much difference between the middle class and the rich. The main difference here is assets. So we all want to be wealthy, right? And most of the time when we start getting money, we always tend to spend it on the things that we always wanted. We use it to upgrade our lifestyle, and most of the time we end up in the middle class, and that is we increase the number of liabilities we are getting. We'll get a car, we'll get a school vehicle, and all sort of things that we try to buy. But if someone wants to be wealthy according to Rich Dad Poor Dad, we have to be following the diagram of the rich. That is, when we get income, we have to buy assets that will give us some sort of payment, so that you have multiple streams of income. So if I give you an example from my own life, I started to I started to invest in few stocks and other types of assets. I don't own any home or properties or any type of assets that are in high value, but I'm sure that I will get there. But just reading a book won't be good if you are not applying it. So I started applying, and I have started buying some assets. So I have also invested in some sort of so in the 2020, when COVID hit, you can see that the stock market, everything came down. That was the first time that I invested, and I bought some assets that are, all of them have given more than 80 to 100% increment. So that gave me a lot of assurance that if you are right with your investment strategies, then you can definitely make a lot of money. So that's it for today's video. Let me know how you spend your money. Do you have a lot of liabilities, or do you have a lot of assets? So, and make sure that you subscribe, because I'm planning to upload new videos every Saturday or maybe Monday, based on how I am able to do, and I am sure that it will be really helpful videos like this one. So yeah, so see you on the next one.